Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. Let me check actually who connected, who's not. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of guys already connected. Thank you guys for coming back. Let me know if you can hear me fine, video quality is really good, and so on. I really appreciate before you forget, because I know what I'm talking about when I'm watching some video, and yes, like you, I'm also going on YouTube, and that's probably right now the main search engine for me. Okay, and sometimes I watch video and I forget to like it. Before you forget to like it, just give me some love, okay? Just like my video. It makes me happy. And if the gospel would be written in the nowadays, and Jesus would say, like, and you will be liked. All right. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. I really appreciate. Just don't forget also to hit that notification bell. But there's an option to get all the notifications, or just whatever the just random. And yes, YouTube is actually not always sending those notifications if you don't choose the right option. Okay, so great to see you. Good to see your smiley faces. No, I don't see your smiley faces, I imagine. Anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, all of you. Let me see. Well, there's a bunch of guys connected. David, Dennis, Mark, Deborah, another David, Bob, Celso, Jose, Gary, Eugene, Keith, and so on. And some people from connected from Facebook, and I'm also on a Twitch, I'm also on a Twitter, Periscope, and so on. I really highly encourage you, if you're watching me on Facebook or other platforms, just go to my YouTube channel, okay? This channel is much better, and it's easy. youtube.com/Grabovetsky, just like my last name. By the way, for those of you who don't know me, I know, I'm pretty sure, the guys who connected already in a live stream, they know why they connected, actually, because they know me. But for you, if you don't know who am I, my name is Alexander Grabovetsky, and I'm nothing special. I'm just a wood carver, and when I'm saying nothing special, yes, I am special, because wood carvers called in the Bible, and I believe with all of my heart, people who able to carve wood, really people of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Just write in the comments, amen, if you agree with me that wood carving is actually involves a lot of wisdom and knowledge. Okay, I've got email from one of you, from Ben, and I was reading that email, and that's actually made me kind of sad. There's woodworking shows all over the world, pretty much, but there's a lot of woodworking shows in the United States, of course. And wood carvers asked for the table, okay, for the wood carving table. And organizer of this woodworking show, sadly, I mean, I'm not judging, but sadly, the people who organized this woodworking show, they said wood carving is not even considered as a woodworking. Come on, guys, get real. We working with wood. We actually shaping wood a lot more complicated forms than just a normal woodworker would do. By the way, the higher level woodworkers, furniture makers, they also using some carving elements. Even if they don't ornate, they don't do, like a shells and a canvas, sometimes, yeah, I mean, not every furniture is supposed to have, acanthus or, shell, because not all of us reproduce antique style furniture. But anyway, some areas, if you higher level furniture maker, so you actually doing some curves or curvatures, and you have to use sometimes wood carving tools to get that curvature, because not every machine able to. Okay, so, and yeah, I mean, some of CNC machines, yes, I mean, probably could do, but I doubt that every woodworker has a CNC machine, computerized, router. I doubt. And really it takes space, and it doesn't actually produce quicker result, unless if you're just cutting plywood. Yeah, I mean, it's much quicker to do the plywood for the cabinets and so on. But if you're doing custom furniture and you're using CNC, it takes as long to program CNC and just to draw everything and just choose the tooling and stuff like this and send the code, generate the code. For me, it's a lot quicker just to grab a carving tool and just get that thing done. Okay, get that thing done. Okay, but anyway, guys, wood carving is woodworking. Okay, and that's doesn't matter what other people think it is. It's the most complicated type of woodworking, if you wish. It takes a lot more ability than just the simple straight lines. Okay, a lot more ability. So it takes talent, gift, knowledge, understanding. And yes, I agree with the Bible. People who carve wood, really wise people. Okay, it's a chapter 31 Exodus. Okay, chapter 31 Exodus, verse 3 till 5. Okay, so it's a really people who carve wood, people of wisdom. Okay, people of wisdom. But now let me jump to today's subject. If you follow, if you do have a social accounts, by the way, if you have a Facebook or Instagram, I would really appreciate if you can follow me on those platforms. Yeah, I know I've got like over 20,000 on Facebook. I've got about 15,000 or so on Instagram. But for me, if you're gonna follow me, and I'm posting regularly, I try to post regularly. I mean, I'm still not catching up, like every day, you're supposed to, like they say. I'm not. But anyway, so it makes me happy if you follow me, and that's a woodcarver Grabovetsky. Woodcarver Grabovetsky. Now, I also want to appreciate those people, members of my school online, schoolofwoodcarving.com. I really do appreciate, especially those people who stick with me for years already. And I do have that school for 3 years. And that's, when I see people coming back and they signed like 3 years ago and they still there, they still hanging out, they still working on the projects, and they watching the videos. There's like 2,000 videos by now, okay? And today I'm gonna show you more, pretty much what I've done, and I'm gonna upload a lot more videos today, to the school site. Thank you very much. Again, please like it, okay? Right? I mean, there's a below video, okay? So just like it and give me some love, okay? Don't forget, just don't walk away. All right, so just like this video. Now let me get to the subject. Yes, yes. I tried just using rasps, okay, on my wood carving. By the way, I wanna tell you what I've done with this piece. You can see right now I just kind of raised this up, and that part I'm working pretty much on the ceiling. Okay, so that is going to the ceiling. It just gradually moves to the ceiling. And this part I've done like yesterday. If you watched me on Monday, you didn't see that development. It's not done, okay? So guys, please don't get me wrong. It's not done yet, okay? But that is what I'm working on. And I think it's going to be a good idea to show today actually the subject that I really stayed away for a long time. And that subject is about rasps, files, and so on, okay? Or riffles, whatever you call them, okay? If you like this subject, if you would like to hear my opinion a little more about those things, please let me know, comment, and I'll try to read everything, even if I'm not gonna read during live stream. I'll still go back and I'll read it, okay, and I'll try to answer whatever I'm able to. But anyway, let me get to my piece, and I'll tell you about the finishes I like and what I don't like, and so on. There's a different approach to finishing, you know, to the surface, to texturing, not texturing, to make it smooth. And looks like I did on Monday a live stream about using sandpaper, and I've got really good response, okay? People like it. Even the guy who didn't like it at the beginning, looks like he watched that again and he removed that, his dislike. And I mean, for those people who don't like those videos, you don't have to struggle, okay? So just walk away, and you know, nothing, you don't have to invest your time in what you don't like, okay? So that is my take on it, okay? But if you like it, okay? Now, for a long time, and I'm talking about years and years and years, since childhood pretty much, I stayed away from using rasps or riffles or, you know, files in my wood carving projects for a long time, really long time, okay? And it has to do with my understanding of wood carving. Maybe it's a background, because my teacher, he never used that, and I thought it's supposed to be a finish of whatever you're working on, supposed to be just out of the chisel, how we call it, okay? So right from the chisel surface. What you're looking right now, it's not done at all. It's just kind of rough shape. I'm establishing my design. So please don't judge me. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't jump to conclusions. And I still gonna get the details. But for a long time, what I did, even let me show that a little closer to you. Okay. So the way I finished, the way I approached, you know, those areas like this, you know, just to get the finish. You see there's a lot of facets on the top from the tool marks, okay? Again, that is not finished piece yet, so but I thought it's going to be really good representation for you to show what you do to finish it, and it's what I've done for a long time. So after you establish your form, you pretty much just to take shavings, okay? You're just taking shavings, and if I'm gonna exaggerate my movement, so I'm making movement like this, upside down. Of course, in this case, it doesn't have to be upside down. It all depends on the carving. But see, I'm just rising on the top of those facets, okay? And yeah, that is actually a good section to show, because from my pencil marks, you know, I established like, you know, dark spot. It's looking really, really dirty, okay? I call it patina, okay? Yeah, and yeah, one day I was teaching in school in Tampa, and I said, hey guys, please keep in mind. Okay, so when you're touching your wood, it's what I was teaching about. So you developing patina on the wood because the wood becomes darker, and that's a reaction between your hand oils and the wood itself, and plus those pencil marks and so on. It's a good at the beginning. I mean, it's okay to just use bare hands and carve in the beginning, but when you're doing a final detail, and if you're not planning to put any stain, just use some kind of gloves. Okay, so and I kind of like the painter's gloves. Okay, and I said, yeah, because it just is, you know, just you are getting that patina. Okay, and that's exactly what it is. But one of the guys, he is of course woodworker, and he is an American, and I really appreciate that guy. He tried to explain in a more simple way, and he said, yeah, it's a process of oxidation. Yes, that is exactly what it is if it applies to the copper and oxygen. Okay, but I think it also applies to wood. And yeah, I mean, take a cherry wood, for example, reaction to the sunlight, reaction to the environment, to the oxygen even, it still just develops some kind of colors and stuff like this. Okay, but anyway, for me it's simple. You know, right now it just looks really dirty. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. Andy, good afternoon. Steve, good morning. Michael, hello, hello. And yes, what is the difference between rasps and riffles or you know, files? I'll tell you a little later. Okay. Marty, good morning. Good morning. Lanzi, good morning. Let me know where you're watching from, because looks like there's a lot of different guys from all over the world watching. And Denise, добрый день. Mark, good morning. It's a good day for you, Mark. You're in Ohio, so that's a really good day. You know, I've got Bob from Florida. So, Bob, you know, you are my type of wood carver. Florida is the most beautiful state in the United States. Okay, as far as the green outside and the weather, it's what I believe. Okay, okay. Don't argue with me. Okay, don't have to. But anyway, let me get to my piece. Okay, let me get to my piece. Hola, hola, Ign. Hola, buenos dias or buenas tardes, wherever you are. Okay, so this piece. Okay, so I hope you understand what I just tried to show. So that the idea I did most of my life, just to get that surface really smooth after, you know, I carve everything. I just write on top, and this is a little too big of a tool. I need to use some smaller tool. Let me use just the number one in this case. That is would be just the number one, double bevel. And what I'm doing usually, I'm just writing on top of my facets. Okay, and you can achieve really nice result. Okay, you really just taking out. And again, like I said, this piece is a really good representation because I already developed some dirt on that, and you can see those cuts. But you can get really nice and smooth result by that. But I had I watched some videos and other wood carvers, and I would say famous wood carvers, and they used rasps. Okay, they used rasps for the wood carving, and I wondered myself, why don't I try? Okay, why don't I try? But then I googled you know, for the good rasps, and of course I knew the brands which is supposed to be the best, and yes, I made the decision what kind of rasps I'm gonna buy. And by the way, riffles and rasps, I believe it's about the same thing anyway. So except the files, it's more final or more finer, you know, the grade, and I'll show you the difference. And yes, I knew from other wood carvers what they prefer and so on. But I said to myself, why don't I just Google and buy and try? Okay, and yes, I mean, it's honestly, this piece, it's first time ever, I mean, first time ever I used in some areas, not everywhere, just a couple spots, you know, rasps. And that's what I'm gonna talk about, what happened after I used that. Okay, so now the difference between rasps and files and riffles, I believe rasps and riffles is pretty much the same, except riffles is just probably a smaller version of a rasp. I mean, let me show you. Huge, you know, this is a really big rasp I bought. Okay, I've got a couple of those somewhere because I don't use it. I don't remember what place I placed it. Right here. Okay, I found. This is also rasp, but it's a much finer, a lot more, you know, finer grit rasp. And those are riffles. Okay, those are riffles right here. And this one is a file. Okay, and the way you differentiate them, of course, you know, the rasp has a handle most of the time, although that is also rasp. I guess I could be wrong. Again, I'm not really, like I said, I did not use them. I was afraid of using those rasps on my wood carving. I thought it's gonna be, I'm gonna ruin my authenticity. Okay, it's not gonna be authentic anymore to the wood carving world. But Lori, good morning, Lori. Gary, good morning. Okay, so and I'm not really knowledgeable. I mean, to a certain degree, yes, I know exactly what I'm talking about, but not really like those guys who using those rasps pretty much all life. Like I said, this is the first piece. I mean, this is the first piece I ever tried that. Okay, ever tried that. Okay, now I found two brands what I like. Okay, I found two brands what I love. Okay, let me differentiate them. Okay, so that would be just two different brands. Okay, so one brand I really like, it is Audio. That is about 7.5 inches long, and this one is about the same. Okay, this one is Audio, and it has an octagonal handle. And I like that it has actually, you know, some tooth or teeth right, you know, just on a rib, on a knife. And there's some unique shapes they do. I believe this one is actually designed, not only that one, there's a couple of them actually designed by Chris Pye, woodcarver from UK, and most of you probably know him. So this one is designed by Chris Pye, and that one is by Chris Pye. Okay, so that is Audio. It's from France. It's a French company, and I really love the tools they produce. They also do make some wood carving gouges and chisels. And I love the, well, I should just probably just go back. I really loved, okay, in the past tense, you know, the product, what they do. When they came up with the first gouges, I bought them all, okay. It was a few years ago. And recently, maybe a couple years ago, they extended the collection of gouges, and I again bought them all. And guess when I opened them, I was so excited, you know, when, and I really love gifts, by the way, okay? I mean, I love to get packages and so on. That's my language of love, okay, if you wish. There's a book, actually, many years ago I read 5 languages of love, and my language, one of my languages, it's gifts, okay? And when I got those gouges, man, it's made me excited. I was opening that thing, and my heart was jumping. You know, I was expecting what I was, I mean, I expected the best of the best and expected exactly the same. But when I opened, you know, those gouges, those tools, to my surprise, what I found, it was not the same in all. It was actually, you know, one of the tools was burnt, another mismarked, which is not a big deal. Burnt is a problem. It was blue at the edge, you know, it wasn't done the proper way. But anyway, I still think it's a really good brand. I still think it's a good brand. So I bought those audio rasps. That is what they known for. Okay, those rasps and files and so on. And the beautiful thing about those rasps, what I love about them, and I think it's probably one of not too many companies. Can you believe every one of those teeth, okay, every tooth is actually done by hand, okay? Every one of them done by hand. And just because it's done by hand, it leaves absolutely gorgeous finish, okay? I mean, as far as they claiming, all right? It's a really nice finish. It's what it leaves just because it's done by hand. It's inconsistency, human touch. It actually gives beautiful finish. It doesn't produce lines, okay? It doesn't have any strokes, if you wish. Those tool marks from other brands. That's what I love about those audio files, okay? Or not files, I'm sorry, rasps or riffles, whatever, okay? So now, like I said, there's a couple unique forms. But the problem what I have with audio, not the quality, okay? Don't get me wrong, people, okay? I love audio rasps, and I still believe audio rasps are the best, or the best. I mean, best of the best, just because the fact it's a hand forged, so it's a really true craftsmanship involved. It's a people actually who's using hands. And I really admire those people who are still using hands when they doing the tools and so on. But the problem, what I found when I Googled, actually two problems, okay? When I Googled, two problems. One problem is availability. Because the manufacturing process, it's actually not that big company in all. And it's hard in United States at least to get them in stock. And I ordered them on toolsforworkingwood.com. People selling, I mean, those people selling from New York. Again, it's a toolsforworkingwood.com. It's I've got where I got my rasps from audio. It was one problem, availability. They're not always available. Second problem, what I found, they're not cheap, okay? And I'm not expecting, you know, they are being cheap. I spent a lot of money. That's why I said I spent $1,000 in my title on rasps, files, and riffles, and tried them. But I tried them only once. Then I tried to Google something else, like alternative to audio. And I found another brand, which is an Italian brand. And that's made in Italy. And it is machine done, okay? It's a machine done. It's a Corradi brand, okay? And yeah, I mean, you can see right away the difference. That is done by machine, that is done by hand. The pattern is different. By the way, people, if you like this subject, just give me a thumbs up, okay? Give me a thumbs up, all right? And like that video, and also write something in a chat. I'm gonna check whatever you write, okay? So now, but you can see that brand is an Italian brand, and for some reason, I love what Italian people make. Okay, Italian makers in mine mindset, they always the best. Again, I mean, I probably should take it back. It's not the best of the best, but yes, it is. There's a different countries and manufacturers. There's a German brands and Austrian brands and French brands. Of course, I just mentioned audio, and English brands, and even Czech Republic, like Narex. They also doing some rasps. But in my brain, when I look at Italian stuff, what they do, like even cars, like we're talking about Lamborghini, we're talking about Ferrari, we're talking about the high quality furniture, what they do. Yeah, I mean, the furniture, mostly what they do, it's really shiny and modern, but the quality, the approach, I guess it's probably just in the blood, because it's a really ancient it's like a DNA coming back, to those people who lived in the Roman Empire. Same like, Greek people also. I mean, those people so artistic, and they getting that DNA transferred to generation to generation to generations. Okay, so that's why I kind of like it. I don't know if it's the best. Okay, I don't know if it's the best, but I think it's one of the best. Okay, I think it's one of the best. It's a Corradi brand, so it's a Corradi brand right there. Okay, what I like about those tools, I like actually they selling as a set. Okay, I don't have to buy just one tool. Okay, I don't have to buy a tool. I can buy actually a set, and not just a set. There is a set of 16 tools. Okay, there's rasps, and there's files. Okay, which is actually pretty much matching, the profile of rasps. What I like about that idea, so when I'm using, let's say, let me pull one of the rasps, okay? When I'm pulling, well, I should be able to pull it. When I'm getting a rasp, and at the same time, I can find actually matching pretty much file, and just follow whatever the profile I've got on this one. I can follow with the file, and the file has, of course, a lot nicer and a lot smaller grid, and it has just like lines. Okay, so that's that how you can see the difference between file and rasp. Right there is a difference. Okay, let me get the bigger version for you to see that much better. Okay, let me get the bigger version. Okay, right here. See, that's what I was talking about. So you can get pretty much matching set, exactly the same curvature, matching set, but the rasp and file, rasp and file. And Carl is asking, can you demonstrate using the rasps, please? Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, let me take you to my beautiful section, which has a lot of dirt, and I'm gonna work on this one a little bit, right? And particularly, I'm gonna just attack this section again, guys. This is a Corradi, and I placed the link just because they selling set of 16. I really like that idea. Okay, so 16 tools in one set. I've got the description link I've got that link in description, I should say. I'm just mumbling today. Please forgive me. All right. So now, see this area right here. So what I'm doing. So you pretty much what you do. Okay. So there is no brainer. It's easy to use. Well, by the way, a Corradi is a rougher version, by the way. So if you're gonna use a Corradi, so keep in mind, don't press too hard, okay? But you just are riding right on top of your faucets, and you establish whatever the form you need to establish, okay? So that is a little more aggressive, like I said. And yes, it doesn't leave a really, really nice finish. It does not. It just, you know, cuts through the wood really, really quickly. That's what I like. What I like about it, okay? I can establish really nice curvature, okay? So really continuous, like a tangency almost. I'm not sure if that is the correct word, like continuous tangency to the three-dimensional world, okay? So I can just hit the high spots, and it gives me beautiful movement, okay? I'm using Corradi right now, okay? But see what I was talking about, if you look really close, it leaves those marks, okay? Because it's a machine done, and it leaves those marks right inside. But I don't worry about it, okay? I don't really worry about it. Even if I'm just gonna use the Corradi right after my rasp, I can just grab a file, and in this case, you can see the pattern. Yes, it is machined, but it has lines one way, and it also has lines the other way. It has like a diamond pattern almost right there, okay? And you just write with the same profile right on top of it, okay? And you get rid of those marks. And you get rid of those marks. Here you go. Yeah, I need to spend a little more time. But although I would probably recommend, because it's machine done, so I would just do like a rotation motion, almost like this. That way I can eliminate those machine marks. But you can see it actually leaves really perfect surface, okay? Just using those two guys, okay? And yes, I'm gonna try to show you a little closer if I'll be able to, okay? Hold on just a second and I'll show it to you, okay? Hold on just a second and I'll show it to you. Can you even see that, what I've done? You probably don't see it, what I've done. I apologize. Here you go. Let me readjust. Okay. You should be able to see now, okay? Again, I did this area, and I just, you know, just looked at my camera, and it looks like, you know, I was, again, you know, my camera was focused on a different area. But anyway, so what I did, I used really rough Corradi one, okay? And that one is rough. I mean, I think it's like 14 teeth per inch, or maybe even less. It's really rough. And then matching, exactly the matching profile file, okay? So, but anyway, take a look. And let me show you a little closer how nice that finish looks actually. Can you see that? Okay. If you like it, give me thumbs up, okay? So see, it's actually reveals wood, and that's exactly what I'm after, okay? And yes, you can burnish it after it, and you can see it does not leave any abrasive on inside. That is what I like about those rasps versus what we talked about previously, the sandpaper. For me, well, I understand the logic behind. I understand the logic. When people trying to sand or use the rasps, they thinking it's a much quicker process. You know, they can get the job done quicker. But I found it's not the case. It's not the case in my case. Can I say that? It's not the case in my case. I'm spending a lot more time when I'm using sandpaper, when I'm using rasps. But between sandpaper and rasps, I would probably go ahead and use just rasps. And you can see actually the finish it leaves. It actually leaves really clean finish. Okay, I have absolutely no problem with that finish whatsoever. Yes, you are taking out those facets and you kind of losing the picture, but for me, I mean, my piece is kind of big piece, you know, it's a huge piece, and I'm not gonna lose those because it's I mean, people, we're talking about 10-foot long, just one section of it. Okay, nobody's gonna look for those facets on this piece. Okay, especially I'm gonna paint that. Okay, I have no problem whatsoever to use rasps. Yes, I did not use everywhere. I don't need to because, like I said, I'm able to get my results out of the chisel really clean and nice. But I have no problem of using those rasps. Okay, so now that is Corradi. Okay, let me show you right now. Audio, French brand. Like I said, the only problem with audio I have, it's a limitation. I love that, I love that, I love that, okay? And again, you can see the Corradi is actually a lot rougher, I should say, a lot rougher, okay? So that a lot less teeth. This is much better. Although I do understand, I mean, you can probably Google and find a lot nicer and better, you know, rasps. But I couldn't find, okay? I couldn't find as a set, of course. Maybe you can buy separately, but we're talking about $40 for just one thing. $40 is it's still expensive, okay? It's still expensive, okay? So I'd rather spend the $40 maybe on another gouge than rasp. But anyway, right now what I'm using audio, okay? And it gives me also really good result. But be careful, people, okay? Be careful, be wise. Remember, a wood carver is a wise man, okay? When you're doing against the grain, or across the grain, I should say, my grain runs this direction, so you actually tearing that grain, and it leaves a lot tear marks, I would say. So it's better to go with the grain, whenever you're able to. Not always, of course, you're not able to do it always, but it is possible, you know, in some of the areas. At least try, okay? So I'm doing right now with the grain. But see the claim I just made and what other wood carvers made? Just because it's hand cut and the pattern is not consistent, it leaves a lot less those tool marks. And that's true, okay? I can probably prove it. And again, I'm not pushing too hard. I did with the grain. And now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do exactly the same, just a rounding motion like this. And right on top of those facets. Not facets, okay, I'm sorry. Right on top of those tool marks I just created with the rasp. And I'm really not pressing whatsoever, you know. The beautiful thing about the rasps, it doesn't leave any abrasive inside of the wood. That's what I like about it, okay? That's what I like about it. It's still somewhat like a rough, I would say, but it's not that bad, okay? And what I like about this one, I can actually get on a slope, and this is a convex part, and I can just hit that slope. and create curvature, perfect almost curvature. And like I said, this piece is not done yet, so I'm able to press harder, but still, you know, it just gives me almost, you know, whatever I want to, you know, the desired result. And let's say if I'm gonna use a different shape, Carl is asking, will you use more rasps in the future? I don't know yet, okay? I don't know yet. I'm still feel guilty, okay? I still feel guilty when I'm grabbing a rasp. So it's like I have to overcome it. But anyway, even in transition like this, and I'm actually using file right now by Koradi. All right, let me find the, and you can see, I mean, okay, wonderful people, I have to tell you the truth, okay? You can see, you know, those tools are new tools, and there's no wood on them whatsoever, and I've got the oil yet on them, okay? So on some of them. And I would highly encourage to take care of that oil first before you would use that. And there's a couple ways actually you can do that. Of course, you people of wisdom, Alan, you know that. But one of the easiest ways, what I found, just use Windex. Okay, you know, just Windex for the windows, for cleaning windows. And that actually removes the oil really quickly, really quickly. Okay, so that is a brand new Koradi one. Carl is asking, did the Gibbons have rasps and files? Majid, hi. And I don't know about Greenland Gibbons if he used rasps. I know for a fact he used, you know, reed rush. In his case, it was a Dutch reed rush. So because actually, you know, there's a different species of reed. It just has a lot better hook. It just ascends really nicely. I don't know if he used rasps or not. But I know other furniture makers, even in his time, they did, okay, for fact. I know, for example, Chippendale, he sends it his work, okay, so, I mean, you can see the original work, and it was just really nicely, smoothly done, you know, some of it. I mean, some send it, some not, okay, so I should not say. Okay, let me read them. Hello, Alexander. For me, it is very interesting to know more about undercutting, how to determine depth of holes, how to make it without, well, how to make it really smooth, if I would just translate that, okay, without any roughness, okay. Олег, очень хороший вопрос, очень хороший вопрос. Now, let me tell about the carving, undercutting in a different video and not walk away from this one. And I'll do a separate video for undercutting. Just to be short, just get your tools sharp. That's the only way, okay? When you're working with the wood, your tools, they really must be sharp. That way you can just get really nice in with the tool, and also the right proper tools. I mean, for example, if you're gonna undercut like in the area right there, so I really love to use like number 11. In this case, I've got a little too small, but I could use like number 11 and let's say 10 millimeters, like 3/8 of an inch, and undercut, start slowly with the right direction. And you can achieve, you don't see that on the camera, but you can achieve really, really nice results with the really sharp tools, okay? But let me get back to my rasp idea. See how rough surface it left, the audio. That is not what I really like to see. And like I said, I love audio because it's a hand done, it's a hand forged, and hand, I mean, those teeth they made by hand, every one of them, every dot, every tooth, okay? So they've done by hand. But the limitation, that's the problem. Limitation of how fine I can get, how beautiful, I mean, this one, for example, this is a furniture making, now also done by audio. This is a lot finer, and I can actually hit with the finer one. But it's still not gonna give me the same result as a file, okay, which is this one by Corradi. And I can just go with the Corradi, like I showed that before, right on top of those rough spots, and I can get really beautiful result, especially if I'm gonna spend little time. That's actually why I don't like to use rasp or sandpaper, because it just takes me like twice longer to do one area, carve it, and then just sand it down or smooth it, okay? But see what I'm doing? I'm just riding on top of those rough spots, and it just leaves me a beautiful finish. But there's the other solution. Once you use your rasp, establish your form, establish your movement, let's say, whatever the movement you establish, and in this case, let me actually hit that concave. All right, so then you take the tool again, okay, the same tool what you used before, and just to ride on top of whatever the tool marks rasp left, okay, and just to get rid of those tool marks, if you wish. Or you know, if you are planning to finish it, so you can always burnish it, okay, with the other piece of wood or even wood chips. So you can just burnish it nicely, even after rasp. So what you do, essentially, you just actually pushing inside of the wood, you know, whatever the wood chips, not the chips, but wood dust left right there, okay? But see, it actually leaves really beautiful and shiny surface. But you have to keep in mind, so that process of burnishing you have to get done only right before you're ready to apply some kind of shellac or whatever other finish you want to apply, because next day, if you're gonna leave it like that, next day, you know, all of whatever you smooshed inside is gonna puff out again, okay, and then it's gonna be rough again. So that is not the best, I would say, approach, but it's doable. It's doable. Let me read the chat. Absolutely, Oleg, I will do it, okay? I'll do the video about undercutting. Я сделаю это обязательно. Okay, let me read Bernie. Audio riffles like the reed has natural random pattern, which makes virtually impossible to leave pattern on the wood. Each tool is essentially one of a kind. Yes, it's exactly what it is. Just because those teeth, you know, just made by hand, but it's still, I mean, I'm still able to see those marks. Maybe you have finer ones. I couldn't find any finer ones in a small version, like 7.5 inches. Yes, there's a different patterns. You have 12 teeth per inch, 14 teeth per inch, and so on, and higher. Okay, Deborah, let me read. Hi, Alex. Do you know if we can obtain the same results for other wood types? Hardwood. Actually, the hardwood is actually a lot better with rasps. Absolutely, yes. Rasps actually working excellent on a hardwood, on a cherry, on oak. It's actually excellent tool. So you able to. Okay. So let me read what I maybe missed. Carl is asking, will you use more rasps in your future? I think I already tried to answer that. I still have to overcome my guilt. And I will probably overcome my guilt, especially on this piece, okay? Especially on this piece. You know, just because it's gonna be painted with the chalk paint. Anyway, the chalk paint itself leaves somewhat rough texture, so I'll probably use rasps a lot more on this piece. Okay. Now Marcus saying 16-piece rasp file set in Woodcraft. Yes, but I also placed link right below this video. I mean, you can check right now pretty much. I placed the link to those 16 rasps, which is exactly the same what Woodcraft sells. I believe that is actually right directly to the Woodcraft. Why I like to use Amazon versus you know, just to go to a store. Maybe it's just me. If you live in another state, so they're not gonna charge you sales taxes. I should keep quiet. But anyway, I mean, we're talking about like $400 add to this price, you know, sales tax, and it adds up. I rather just buy on Amazon, and they're still gonna ship it to me. I'm not sure if they're gonna charge you. It all depends on the warehouse, I believe. But anyway, so exactly those 16 pieces, Koradi, right in the description, okay? Okay, let me read. Thank you very much, wonderful people. Just please give me some love, okay? Give me some love, okay? Just like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, or at least consider it, okay? At least consider it. And come back, okay? And yes, you know, you have to kind of, you know, just give me those likes, okay? It makes me happy. Okay, let me read. Jose is asking, do you grow your own Dutch rush reeds? No, I'm not. No, I am not. So you are asking about this stuff right here, okay? So that is a reed rush, and I am actually buying them. I'm buying, and it lasts long time, and I like it's already dry. What I do sometimes, I use some type of like a stick, and just apply inside. Although this one is already shredded. But if you have the right dimension, so you can get inside and glue that in and use that as a hard surface, okay? Okay, so that is how I like it. And woodwing, wood brass, or wood brass, woodwing, something like that. I mean, they have stores in South Bend, Indiana. They do have a store in New York, and they do have a store in Paris, I believe, in France, or maybe London also, in England. It's a wood brass, woodwing, or woodwing, wood brass, and they do sell it for musicians, okay? Because musicians, they actually use, you know, the reed rush for the music, by the way, okay? Not for sensing. Thank you very much, wonderful people. Thank you very much. Follow me, please, on the social platforms, on the Facebook and Instagram, Woodcarver Grabovetsky, and it's both the same on both platforms. Again, don't forget to like it before you go. I really appreciate if you can give me some likes. It is, you know, it is important for me. Okay, so please, I love you, people. Have a wonderful and blessed day. I really appreciate if you would give me an ideas what you would like to hear from me. If you wanna ask me question, please, I would really encourage you not to email me those questions. Post them in the comments. Okay. The reason why, because I'm getting a lots of emails, probably like you also, and sometimes I just select all and delete. I'm getting like thousands emails daily, and sometimes it just slips through my fingers and I'm not able to answer in emails. So it is better to communicate in comments. Just comment below and ask me anything, and I'll try to address that in the future videos. It also helps me, just to guide, toward what people really need to hear, what is actually a good subject to talk about in a live stream. And if you're not part of my school, I invite you, schoolofwoodcarving.com. I invite you to join, hundreds and hundreds of people actually, who's loyal members of my school. It's not even school, okay? It's actually more than school. It's more like a community of people. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget, care about the loved ones, okay? Just